Well, this year marks the 44th anniversary of June 16 Soweto uprisings, where young people protest against the apartheid regime introducing Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Now, the event ended tragically with hundreds of young people brutally gunned down, and the class of 76 made history as their actions had a profound change on the socio-political landscape of this nation. And this year, National Youth Day, which is of course commemorated tomorrow, and Youth Month as a whole, will be celebrated under the theme Youth Power, Growing South Africa Together in the period of COVID-19. And to tell us more about this, I'm joined now by Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nocawe Mafu. Thanks so much for your time this morning, Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Sakina. Good morning, and thanks for having me. Good morning to the viewers at home as well.
Ms. Nocawe, Ms. Mafu, let's start by looking at the theme first and foremost, Youth Power, Growing South Africa Together in the period of COVID-19. What exactly are you hoping to extrapolate from that?
Look, maybe first of all, Sakina, before I get to the theme itself, if you can, please allow me to pass my condolences to the families of those that have lost their loved ones through the gender-based violence in the country. I think it's very sad. Now, coming to the theme itself, Youth Power, Growing South Africa Together in the period of COVID-19. First of all, how we're going to celebrate it this year is that we want the young people to first do and have the conversations to talk. So that's how we talk about youth power, because we don't really want us to come in and just talk to the young people. I think they must talk to us first, and then at the end, we respond to what they are saying, because their voice is very critical and they always have the power to change things. That's why we thought it's important that the team must talk to their energies and what they can achieve.
Well, that sounds all good and well. It certainly sounds like the right thing to say, Deputy Minister. But how do young people actually go about expressing themselves? What are the avenues? Where are those avenues where they can actually go and find expression?
Thank you very much, Sakina. Well, the avenues are always there, but sometimes they are not known to the person that is supposed to use them. But for tomorrow in particular, what we had looked at doing is to have some discussions prior to the event itself. What we have looked at is that we took a young lady called Nozipho Chabalala, who used to be called Nozipho Mbanjwa, to actually moderate dialogues and conversations with young people across the country. They'll be talking about topical issues. One, how are they dealing with COVID-19? But secondly, what is it that they can play to actually rebuild the economy of the country? But also to talk about the heritage currency. So those topics will be done across. And what we hope to do is that when the president comes in to actually gives his message of support, he then responds to what the young people might have raised as the difficulties and what they think needs to happen. And what is it that they want to see the country and government doing in actually mitigating some of the challenges that they are dealing with. So that's the route that we have taken in celebrating the June 16 this year, so that we not talk to them, they talk to us, and then we respond to what they tell us.
Wasn't there an opportunity perhaps to have a direct engagement whereby I ask a question and Ms. Mafu answers the question? Didn't that come into consideration with regard to the president and actually speaking to the youth?
The president will be listening to the entire debate and conversation. We tried to look at that avenue, Sakina, but because of COVID-19 and the difficulties of arranging some of these deliberations, we looked at it and it didn't look that plausible. But what we then said is that, okay, let the conversation begin. The president will be online. listening to the entire conversation, listening to what the young people will be saying from the beginning. And then around 11, when the event itself starts, he will be there. And then at the end, when everybody has said their say, the president comes in, say his message, but respond directly to some of the issues that they would have raised. Of course, in the beginning of the event itself, the ministry, women, youth, and people living with disabilities would have put in their message of support. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture would have put in their message of support as usual, and then allow then the young people to have that kind of conversation. We hope that we can improve this as we go along. Unfortunately, we're dealing with COVID-19. It's a new normal, so we do things in a new way. But we're hoping that this would be the way moving forward, that we allow the young people to actually have the conversation, to actually tell us, because the reality of the situation is that they are the future. They are the ones that they should tell us what to do, not us telling them what to do. And then at the end, we respond.
But the question then becomes, as it always is, which youth are you listening to, Ms. Mafu? Because did you go and make a point to listen to Nocawe from Umhlabuya Lingana? Did you actually go out to solicit an input from Kevin in Tafelsig, for example? Which youth are you actually listening to?
Good question, Sakina. Look, we are a unitary government. We've got local structures, we've got provincial structures. Our understanding is that at every level of government, there should be that conversation that takes place. What we are doing here now is to make sure that, as Nozipho will be trying to speak to everybody across, because what she will be doing is to be talking to the young people in Eastern Cape, in KZN, in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, everywhere. She's not speaking to a specific kind of people. They will be connecting and talking to her. But we also know that there will be those young people that will not have the opportunity to actually connect because of challenges of network, challenges of ICT. So yes, I agree with you. Whilst we would be trying to speak to a wide range of young people, there are those that will be left on the wayside. But the issue here is that it is important that young people, in where they are, in their communities, in where they are, there is a local government there, there is a provincial government there. National government is actually at the end, not the last person to speak to. We would want to have this conversation at all levels so that it doesn't become an issue of we want to converse with the national government. The national government must be a culmination of the conversation that would have taken place. That's why we don't only talk of a youth day, but we talk of a youth month, which has been launched on the 1st of June. And therefore, in many areas, there has been this conversation, there has been this discussion, and of course, in other areas, there has not been this conversation. We hope that at the end of the day, this conversation must be everywhere so that it becomes the norm for the people in power, for anybody to be able to speak to young people, hear them, be able to listen to what they want, not us what we think they want.
All right. We unfortunately have to leave it there, but of course, tomorrow is Youth Day, it's Youth Month, so we'll make opportunity to discuss these further. But thank you so much to Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nocawe Mafu, for discussing a National Youth Day, which is of course tomorrow, and Youth Month, which will be celebrated under the theme Youth Power, Growing South Africa Together in the period of COVID-19. And this is where I have to say goodbye. Leanne?
Goodbye.